Hi, you're face to face with Shell. In this video, I'm going to talk about overcoming your demons. Everyone is different, and I know I keep saying that. This is just my personal experiences, and hopefully, by sharing them with you, I will help you in what you are going through or what you have gone through. I remember the explosion happening. Some people don't remember what happened to them. Maybe they were too young to remember, or maybe they just actually have no memory at all of it. I'm glad that I can remember. I'm not saying that it was easy, it going through my head time and time again, and me replaying it over and over again, or every time I close my eyes, seeing the explosion happening, or having the nightmare and the flashbacks that I did have at the beginning. But I'm glad I can remember, and I'm glad that I remember so I know why I look like this, if that makes sense. I'm going to talk about how I got past the way I felt about the place where the explosion happened. It happened in a very popular Spanish holiday resort called Lloret de Mar. And any time that anyone mentioned this name, I would just flinch. I would really not like hearing the name of the place being spoken. It just filled me with absolute dread. My husband is trained in a lot of therapies, and he decided to help me to think differently about the place, to sort of retrain my mind every time that I heard it, so that I wouldn't flinch any time that I heard the word being spoken. He taught me that it was only a place. It wasn't Lloret de Mar's fault that it happened. It was just a place. And it was a second out of my life. Yes, a second that would change my life forever, but it was just a second out of my life. We did have to attend court relating to the explosion, and I'll probably do a video later on explaining what happened in that regard, but for now we just had to go back. This was about 3 years ago, in 2015. We had to go back to the court quite near to where the explosion happened, and Chris, my husband, says, okay, after we've been to court, we should take a holiday in Lloret de Mar. He said, let's change your memories of the place. So after the trial, we booked a holiday, and I actually had a great time. Absolutely loved it. We were also doing a bit of digging around in the area to see if someone could remember the accident happening. Again, I might cover this in another video, but we feel there has been a massive cover-up. But we also wanted to try and find the people that had helped us that day. So we went to the library, etc. We had a newspaper clipping. The court reporter had done a story after the trial, and it was a brilliant story. So we had something to take around with us so people would know what I was asking them. Everyone was really interested in what had happened, and I was trying to find the people that had helped us that day. Unfortunately, to this day, we haven't found them at all. We do know of one man, the man who came in with the fire extinguisher not long after the blast happened. We have been told he never wants to talk about it, and he certainly doesn't want to meet us. But to me, this man is an absolute hero, and I have spoken about him before in another video. We did find out where the apartments were, and they're now in a state of disrepair. It felt very strange seeing them for the first time. We went to a bar across the road where the manager was absolutely amazing. Again, he was very interested in the story, and I had the newspaper clippings, so I was able to tell him what I was trying to find out. He'd only been there for 20 years, so he hadn't been there long enough to know anything about it. From this bar, we were able to watch school children climbing over the walls. Because the apartments were now in a state of disrepair, it was obviously a really great playground for children. So we're watching them, how they got over the wall and where they were getting into the apartments. Chris had said it would probably be a good idea if I was able to go in. I wasn't sure that day, to be honest. It felt quite strange seeing them, to being so close to them. I did lay flowers for my gran and her friends, and for that day I felt that was enough. We did go back to the bar the next day. Again, everyone was great with us, very friendly, and we met a couple of Scottish girls. We were telling them the story, and they agreed that, yeah, I should go in. They said that they wanted to come in with us, so they bought a bottle of wine, and we all struggled over the wall. Me not thinking I was actually going to get in, I said to Chris halfway up the wall, I don't think I'm going to do this, and he grabbed the back of my shorts and pulled me over. He's like, yeah, yes you are, you're doing this. And it was strange, I was able to find the reception area, and I managed to retrace my steps back to an apartment where I think might have been the apartment that the explosion happened in. We all went inside and we raised a glass to my gran and her friend. I'm so glad I'd done this. I think at that point I'd kicked those demons back to hell. I think it made it easier because the building was just a shell, so I knew that there was no gas in it, so it maybe made it a bit easier to actually go inside. I shall be forever grateful to those people that helped us when we went back to Lorette, to those girls who came into the apartment with us, and to all the other people of the town who were all so very friendly and helpful. We actually now have a few friends in Lorette, so just by going around asking for help, trying to track down the people that had helped us that day, in turn has made us a few really good friends. We have been back to Lorette quite a few times, I think maybe about 3 times during our travels of backpacking for 2.5 years. Absolutely love it. It's such a vibrant, friendly, beautiful town. And I'm so glad, with the help of Chris and my new friends, I now feel totally different about Lorette. I feel when I hear the name or I talk about it, I can now look at it as a place I think fondly of and I look forward to going back to, which is awesome. I even feel a bit sad when I look at the apartments where the explosion happened, because at one time I'm sure that there was many good memories, good holiday memories of people who had been there, and I just think it's sad looking at them now and thinking, okay, I'd had a terrible experience, but there was many people who had a great holiday there. I will talk about our backpacking adventures in another video, and it might just help you to see that there is life after burns and disfigurement, and it can be an amazing life. I'm not saying that everyone will be able to go back to where a thing of trauma happened to them. Maybe you won't want to do it. All I'm saying that it did help me, and I am glad that I'd done it and I had got the opportunity to revisit the explosion site. Remember though that this was many years after the explosion, and I'm not sure that I could have done it just a few years afterwards. In saying that, we did have to go back to the court just 2 years after the explosion, and it was Lorette we stayed in, but we seen the apartments from a distance. What I mean is, I'm not sure I could have gone back to the apartments the way I did as early as, say, 2 years. It did take me a long time. It even took me a long time to go back abroad on holiday. My cousin, who was in the explosion as well, she done it just a few years afterwards, and I honestly don't know how she managed it. And she actually went back to an apartment that had gas in it, and honestly, well done to her. She did say it was very hard and she was frightened at times, especially when one of the women of the group had decided to make a roast chicken and she'd put it in the gas oven overnight to cook. But honestly, well done to my cousin for doing that. It actually took me 10 years to go back abroad on holiday. I never actually thought I would ever want to go back to Spain. Far less love the place now. We spent 3 years, sorry, we spent 3 months backpacking, and I never honestly thought I would love the country and even Lorette, but it just shows you how time and maybe going back and facing your demons does actually change your mind. Anyway, when I decided that it was time to go back abroad, I chose Portugal, and it was to another apart hotel, meaning I had a small kitchen. And I was so paranoid that I asked the travel agent, please make sure there's no gas in the apartment, there's no gas round about, there's no gas being stored, and bless them, they obliged very kindly, and they phoned the hotel owners to make sure that there was nothing, no gas about. I would do this for quite a few years to come. I'm not so bad now, but anytime I went, especially abroad, I had to make sure there was no gas about. We did have a great holiday in Portugal, and we made lifelong friends. The only thing to spoil it was we were on a bus crash on the way coming back from a water park called Slide and Splash, only to be renamed by one of our friends as Slide and Smash. He kept our humour up. We were lucky not to be hurt, but there are others that were. We reckoned that the driver was drunk, and he was driving too close to the edge of the road, and he had smashed into a tree, some branches of which came in through the bus windows and ripped quite a few of them out. Most of the injuries were cuts and people covered in glass. It was horrible, not nice at all. There was a lot of children on the bus as well. After that, I thought I was doomed. I thought I would never go on holiday abroad again. I wasn't going to have a good time. Anyway, I did try one more time, and it was the next year, and I went to Fuerteventura. I had a great holiday. The curse had been lifted. Yay! I'm not sure what I would have done if something had happened on that holiday. I think maybe that would have been it. I was lucky that my family home had no gas in it. Once I was discharged from hospital, there was no gas in the house. But I was very wary if I had to go to a house that did have gas in it. And even if someone struck a match near me, I was so frightened. And for me to strike a match was just a no-go area. The very thought of fire being that close to me, it put total fear inside of me. I'm still a bit wary of gas. About 10 years ago, we rented a caravan just near the city of York. It was really beautiful, and we really enjoyed our holiday, but of course the caravan had gas in it. It was very modern, and I had no reason to feel ill at ease, but I did. Every time I heard a little noise, it had me on edge. So again, Chris came to the rescue, and he let me listen to all the different noises of the gas and the boiler, and he reassured me that everything was going to be okay. After the first night, I was fine. I'm just trying to point out that it's okay to be afraid of what hurt you, but it is also really good to face these fears, hopefully head on, and try and tackle them. Anyway, I hope this has helped you. Again, if you're enjoying the videos and getting something out of them, please give me a like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos. Thank you very, very much for listening once again. Bye.